In this video, we shall learn about the development of monsoons in India. Well, the monsoons in India are experienced in the tropical area, roughly between 20° north and 20° south. To understand the mechanism of monsoons, the following facts are important. Heating and cooling of land and water. Second, the shifting of ITCZ. Third, the presence of the high pressure area east of Madagascar. Then, intense heating of the Tibetan plateau, the westerly and the easterly jet streams, and the development of El Nino and ENSO. Differential heating and cooling of land and water. This creates a low pressure on the landmass of India, while the seas around experience comparatively high pressure. And we have learnt about this in the first part. So we directly go to the next part, and that is shifting of the ITCZ zone. If I take up the globe has important pressure belts, and they are: first one, equatorial low pressure belt, then subtropical high pressure belt, and subpolar low pressure belt. Now this region is known as the tropical region. Since equator is a low pressure belt, winds from subtropical high pressure belts move towards equator. Now these winds are known as trade winds, and these winds are also known as easterlies. Now these winds converge at the equator, and this region is known as ITCZ zone, that is intertropical convergence zone. Since the convergence of the easterlies, that is the northern easterlies and the southern easterlies, happen in this region, it is known as intertropical convergence zone. Now the ITCZ zone keeps shifting towards the northern and the southern hemisphere. This happens because of the apparent movement of the sun. We all know that the earth rotates and revolves around the sun. On 21st of March, the vertical rays of the sun falls on the equator. But as it is shifting to, say, a second position, 21st of June, the vertical rays of the sun falls on the Tropic of Cancer. When it comes to 23rd September, the vertical rays of the sun falls again on the equator. Here we understand that the apparent movement of the sun is in the north, because the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun. But from 23rd September onwards, the southern hemisphere faces the sun. So the apparent movement of the sun is towards the south. So here, when we come to 22nd December, the vertical rays of the sun falls on the Tropic of Capricorn. And once again, when we come to 21st March, the vertical rays of the sun falls on the equator. So from 21st March till 23rd September, the vertical rays of the sun falls in the northern hemisphere, and the apparent movement of the sun is in the north. Now this shifting of the ITCZ zone is very useful, and it brings rain in India. So from 21st of March till 21st of June, we have seen that the apparent movement of the sun is from equator towards Tropic of Cancer, and Tropic of Cancer passes through the middle of India. So there is a shift of the position of the intratropical convergence zone in summer over the Ganga plain in India. This is the equatorial trough, normally positioned about 5° north of the equator. Now it is known as the monsoon trough during the monsoon season. When I use the word trough, it is an elongated region of relatively low atmospheric pressure, and here it is referred to the ITCZ zone. Now we all know that when it is summer in the northern hemisphere, it is winter in the southern hemisphere. So temperature is low and the pressure is high. Now these high pressure winds starts moving from southern hemisphere towards northern hemisphere. Generally, they cannot move. The reason is the ITCZ zone is along the equator. So the winds will converge. But because of the shifting of the ITCZ zone over India, the winds move from southern hemisphere towards northern hemisphere, and they are responsible for bringing rain in India. The southwest monsoon winds which blow over India originate from the southern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, these winds blow as southeast monsoon winds. And the source of these winds are the presence of high pressure area east of Madagascar. Now in the southern hemisphere, off the coast of Madagascar, there arises a zone of high pressure, which is referred to as Mascarenhas High. This high pressure region is located between 35 degrees south till 25 degrees south and 40 degree east till 90 degree east near the Mascarene Islands in the southern Indian Ocean. Around this Mascarenhas High, an anticyclonic air circulation becomes predominant. Normally, this high pressure region starts forming by mid-April, and its strength is an important factor which determines the intensity of monsoon in India. When I say anticyclone, it refers to development of a high pressure area. Winds from Mascarene High head in a northwesterly direction towards the east coast of Africa. Here, the topography of Somalia deflects the wind towards the east. The winds now start moving from southwest to northeast. So, initially, the winds were blowing from southeast to northwest in the southern hemisphere. Now, the wind starts blowing from southwest to northeast in the northern hemisphere. Another important factor instrumental in the development of monsoon winds are the intense heating of the Tibetan plateau. So, in summer, the Tibetan gets intensely heated. The air across the plateau rises, creating a zone of low pressure that sucks in moist air from the Bay of Bengal and the South China and Arabian Sea, bringing rain to most of Asia.